Alright, it is 9:40. I had one trade. It was a loss with RGBP, but I think it was totally fine. It was a morning panic bounce play, and it is working here, but this thing had like a sketchy, immediately crazy turnaround, and I don't like it when a stock does that. It's not going to get my money when it does that. I'm not going to chase it. It kind of closed here, then it immediately kind of opened, and then it spiked quickly here, then it started playing around with a big wick. I don't mind missing a setup like that because that's a stock that trades like trash. So it still got me though. It was just $3, just a tiny position. That was at 9:32, and I was basically risking off of I got in and out the same minute. I was risking off of this level right here, which was right about 441. So we had that drop, right? This could be the bottom. Let's take a buy here. If it cracks below 441, let's get out. It cracks it, and then I immediately sell at 9:32. When I bought it, it was still at 441, and then it cracked below it. I saw that 44 just flat, so that was a tiny percent loss, right? And that was a tiny loss, just 0.23%. It did get as low as 435, and then okay, maybe I missed a turnaround, and then it drops here, right? Okay, maybe let's go for the setup again, and it just spiked too quickly. Really, it just turned around too quickly. So again, I never bought any shares, and yeah, I'll let it do what it wants. It's probably the promoter's goal to not get dip buyers anyway, because they want to do all the buying. But I'll get it someday. I mean, I was very close, I think, back here, but that's totally fine. This thing is still a potential for morning panic bounce plays. And then I was looking at TSOI. In theory, I could have been executed, but this one was very hard because it traded with a large spread, very wicky price action, very just very wide, and I didn't get executed. I think Tim got executed at 11.2. That would have been give or take where I would have liked to have been executed too. It has several times went towards VWAP, but that's about it. NSAV did do a spike. I was thinking maybe a dip towards VWAP setup, but it just ripped right below it, so that's nothing I want to really trade with that. Same thing here with PBYA. It just ripped right under VWAP as well. That's really all I got for right now. I'll keep looking, but I don't see anything nice. I think DPLS was dropping, and this one was a bit strange too, but that's totally fine. None of these were really that clean. That was a good attempt to trade, I think, a larger size. It didn't really work there, but it was just $3 a loss. That's totally fine. I don't mind if that's the only trade I take today. That was a good push. The best time really for morning panic bounce plays I've found is to be around 9:34, and that was not the case here. 9:32 is a bit iffy, but in theory, some of them that turn around very quickly because of level 2 do that. So I'll make an update later. I have a lot of things to look over and learn from. Alright, it is 9:58. A quick update. RGBP, I thought it could be maybe double bottom, but it turned around too quickly. Too many thirsty buyers, or maybe the promoters are thirsty, and it turned around very quickly. So I'm not gonna chase this thing again. It can do whatever it wants. I'm not gonna just I'll go extra large. I missed the bottom, but it's alright. You're just not gonna get traded. NSAV looks weird. PBYA, I think I've learned from yesterday, if these trade all weird, but then it kind of breaks the high. Some of these run a lot, and they look very nice. WDLF a little sketchy, but it could be a dip towards VWAP setup. It is having a spike from 71 to, I guess the high is 84. So if it drops towards 78, which is VWAP right now, that could be a setup. It's not something I have to trade because it is a little bit of a sketchy sub penny, but that could totally happen. Pretty salty that I missed it here, but I'm not gonna chase it. It's just not gonna get any money. That's really all I have right now. I'll be looking at WDLF and just keep watching RGBP. I actually don't want it to spike. Not spike. I actually don't want it to drop back at this level, because then if it does, that's kind of sketchy. So it should spike towards VWAP, at least for all the thirsty dip buyers and promoters who like chasing. But you know, that's in theory right here a double bottom setup, and had I have been in it, I would have risked, I think, 41.8, maybe 41.7 would have been a bit more solid, and I would have been in maybe at 419, 420. Do I still have my yeah, I wasn't gonna buy here. I was just clicking on it to see, you know, how much that would have been profitable. But if it just tops at 43, that's kind of sad. If it drops again to this level, I'm not going to be interested in it anymore, because then it's just being sketchy. It's not like it's got inverse head and shoulders either. This is just a double bottom, so I don't see any setups with RGBP. Nothing there I want to trade. Alright, it is 12:28. This one did get me here, WDLF. I did do one mistake in that I bought and sold 2 times in the same range. I've learned that lesson before, and I need to just apply it in the future. If a stock is trading within a range and I get in and I get out because of the price action or whatever, I need to go ahead and just simply not trade it unless, you know, it makes a lower range, or maybe it, you know, plays out eventually and then it does a higher low or something. But this thing, you know, just had a nice move, but I guess I really shouldn't have traded this so much because of the fact that, you know, it was, you know, only up one major day. It wasn't up like 3 green days in a row, and it was a midday panic, so it wasn't too ideal. But when it first started to drop and I saw the price action, I thought it could be something that would be nice for, you know, a panic dip buy. And 12:13 I was in and out right about, let me get rid of extended hours. 12:13 was right here, in and out, because I was basically playing off at 81. So I had an entry at 83, right at the top here, and I was thinking, alright, well, if it cracks 81, which is the previous candle low, I'm gonna go ahead and cut the trade. I had to cut the trade because it did exactly that. It broke under 81, and I sold at 80, and it was like the biggest volume candle. So that was a fine trade, but I think when I really messed up was the second one, because then I got in at 15, because it, you know, it looked like it was going to immediately turn around. I said, alright, shit, you know, that's some classic beginner newbie chasing mindset. I didn't fall for that with any of the morning panic stocks today, but yeah, it shouldn't have fallen for that here. So again, at 12:15 I was in and out the same candle as well. At least I didn't get the very top at 83, but I bought at 82, and then I sold at 78 because I made a new low, so at least I still cut losses quickly in that sense, because in the first trade, again, I was risking 81, and when that cracked right here, in and out the same candle, and then when it cracked again right here, 79, I cut. So at least I did that right, but I probably shouldn't have traded this again because it wasn't really uptrending. You know, it didn't have like 3 green days in a row. It's a sub penny stock. It's in the middle of the day. So a bunch of lessons learned there. And really, when it comes to regular morning panic bounce plays, I don't regret the ones today that I wasn't able to get in RGBP, because it traded like trash. The turnaround here was quickly. And then the other one was TSOI, I believe, that it was trading all disgusting here in Wiki. You know, I don't regret missing that, but I'm still upset that I did bad with PBYA yesterday with that horrible sell. And it also leads me to realize that, you know, when we do get morning panic bounce plays, I need to trade a larger size, and I need to trade according to my plan. I need to at least wait for VWAP. Of course, if it tops at VWAP and looks like it's going to, you know, consolidate right under, I'm going to sell into that, because then a top is formed. It's not, you know, able to get past VWAP, but it did form some kind of a top, and I'm going to sell in that range. That's totally fine. But, you know, for me to not be able to make so much yesterday because I traded PBYA horribly, and then, you know, to have some losses here, cutting losses quickly at least on a not so perfect setup, I think that's, you know, that adds a lot of frustration to it. So I need to get better in that sense. I can't be doing stuff like this. The first trade was fine. With the second one, probably wasn't that good. But at least I cut losses quickly both times. The first one, again, that one was fine because I was risking 81 and it did not work out. I was in at again 83, and then when it cracked 81, my sell was at 80. And then that second trade, that one was a really bad trade, but at least I sold when it cut, you know, the what was it, the 80 or the 79 level, and then I sold at 78. Yeah, when it cracked 79 and I sold at 78. So I took an L here. Great lessons learned. You know, the ones again that we had today were not really good morning panic bounce plays, but if I get another setup like yesterday with PBYA, you know, I need to really take that into consideration, that I'm not always going to have morning panic bounce play setups, and then there are some that aren't going to work out and I'm going to have to cut losses quickly. And then on the one that does work out, if I barely hold on to the trade, that's, you know, that's not good. That's really bad, and I know I can get a lot better, but that's where I'm at right now. I'll make an update later. I don't think I will trade WDLF anymore unless it perhaps like does the 3 ticker setup. If it can at least put up 3 green candles in a row, which this thing clearly doesn't do, at least right now, maybe I'll consider it. Otherwise I'll just leave it alone and just learn from it. Alright, it is 4:19 p.m. and I am here to call it off. 2 trades were really good. The third one was bad, but yeah, I think I learned a great lesson there. I won't do that again. If it's in a range like that and it gets all jumpy and disgusting looking, I should just only trade it once. If it gets lower, maybe I'll consider it. If it just spikes from there, that's too bad. 3 trades again. The first one with RGBP, this one was a really good trade. I mean, I didn't like the idea of buying a potential morning panic bounce play at 932, but some of them, they do work like that extremely well. You know, I tried. I had a good risk level. I cut when the risk level was hit, and I was not able to get a part of this because it turned around kind of weird and ugly, but that's totally fine. Really nice size, $1,300 position. I need to really push myself to keep trading larger sizes on morning panic bounce plays because that's what I'm best at. WDLF, the next trade wasn't actually that bad, even though it was a, you know, sketchy sub penny. Never really had 3 green upticking days. It was in the middle of the day. It still could have worked out. I did well cutting losses. I didn't do a large position, you know, a half size, I guess. And that wasn't a bad trade at all. I honestly don't regret it. But the last one was kind of bad because that was just me trying to get in the same range. And I almost top ticked and bottom ticked it. So, you know, that wasn't good either. That was probably the worst one. But hey, I learned from that. And I keep going. And that also shows why I need to, you know, try even harder on morning panic bounce plays if they present themselves. Because of the fact that, you know, it's what I'm best at. And I can't let myself, you know, get in a trade, morning panic bounce play, and then I don't really sell nicely. So then it, you know, doesn't help me when I have a mistake or I have to cut losses on another setup that doesn't work. So good lessons there, really good lessons. TSOI, I wanted to be a part of this morning panic bounce play, but it was trading all wicky and ugly. You know, that's totally fine. PBYA is downtrending. That could be a good sign for a morning panic bounce play tomorrow. It was nice the other day, so maybe I'll consider that today. Well, not today, but for tomorrow. RGBP. Again, I went over that. WDLF. I was actually thinking of buying, risking 75 right here for like an inverse head and shoulders. This one worked, but this would have been hard to sell into. It got as high as 89, so that would have been pretty impressive, you know, had I have taken that one. But I don't regret not trading it because of the fact that, you know, I was thinking, am I in it because I see an inverse head and shoulders, or am I in it because, you know, I'm just trying to revenge trade it? Clearly it worked here. That could have been something I could have pushed myself to do, sure, but I don't regret it too much for that reason. NSAV, I was watching this later in the day for a breakout. I did it at the very end of the day, so that wasn't really too ideal for me. I think it's broken out of this range. It's right under it actually. That might be interesting for tomorrow. That's all I got. Some good lessons learned. Hopefully I can keep getting better with the morning panic bounce plays. I don't regret again that first trade, but the second one, that was pretty bad, and I think that's a good lesson. I can learn from that.